Good old JR. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. CM Punk, it's been a long time since this guy left AEW. Well, it feels like a long time. Hell, it's not even been a year since CM Punk left AEW. I mean, I guess it is coming up to a year, but what a crazy time in professional wrestling. But JR, he was speaking on his Grill and JR podcast about the fact that CM Punk has left the company. He was fired, of course, in September 2023 following a week-long investigation into the backstage altercation he was involved in with Jack Perry at All In. Of course, they showed the footage of that a couple of months ago with not much really happening for them, if we're being truthful about it. But on a recent edition of his Grill and JR podcast, Ross discussed the two-time former AEW World Champion and regrets how things went down. And this is what he said, and I quote from good old JR. "I miss CM Punk. I thought he contributed greatly to the AEW roster when he was with us. To be perfectly candid, I wish he was still with us. It was personality-wise, just did not work out, and that is unfortunate." Welcome back to the channel. That was good old JR speaking there, folks. But yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense that JR misses him. Of course, he did end up returning to WWE at Survivor Series. And yeah, he's enjoyed it. You know what? Considering how limited it's been due to injuries, I don't think the Punk run's been that bad. Like, you know, he mega return at Survivor Series. He then had a pretty. I mean, I thought the Rumble match appearance was decent, but he got injured. And I think since then, the work with like Rollins and McIntyre, that like, obviously at Mania, and then since then with McIntyre, I think it's been good. They haven't gave us an awful lot, right? I'm not going to pretend sitting here that it's like the greatest things of all time. But end of the day, JR misses CM Punk. And could AEW be soon to miss good old JR? Because coming up with things like that, I don't know. It kind of just tells me that it could be all over for JR relatively soon, because you know Tony Khan's very petty. He doesn't really seem to let stuff like this slide, and I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into be absolutely bang bang good night. JR barely gets any time in AEW as it is, and coming out and praising a guy that's like most wanted, number one, wouldn't actually surprise me if the guy ended up getting sacked, if we're being truthfully, brutally honest about it. Now, JR did go on to speak about the Wyatt 6, so we'll fire that in here as a bit of a bonus part of the good old JR video here. He says, "I think it's going to be challenging to make the Wyatt 6 work." He said, "I saw highlights of it. I did. I think it's going to be challenging to make it work. Bray Wyatt cast a massive shadow and he was amazingly talented. The new group doesn't have anybody that, to me, and I don't mean to be coarse, but Bray Wyatt can't be replaced. So the more that WWE can make this new group different, the better off they'll be. But to try and emulate and try and replicate step by step, it's going to be really challenging. That's like saying we'll get another bald guy with a goatee that can do Stunner and he'll be Steve Austin. Well, it don't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. So look, I'm all for those guys being successful and going well. It's all about the business and guys getting an opportunity to provide better for their families, which I'm all for, but I think it's going to be challenging." Again, I see where JR's coming from, but to compare Bo Dallas pretending to be Bray Wyatt to some bald guy with a goatee pretending to be, you know, the greatest wrestler of all time and Stone Cold Steve Austin is just absolutely bizarre. Absolutely baffling, man. Absolutely crazy. It doesn't make much sense to me, big man. Alright, that's what I'm going to say about it. But in terms of AEW, of course they miss CM Punk. You know, he's one of the few draws that the company ever had. He's the biggest draw that they've had in their existence, and directly losing him to WWE is just a major, major blow. And you know, hopefully when Punk gets back from this injury, gets cleared, he's going to have a successful end to his career. I mean, Punk's what, 45? He can give WWE another 5 years, and you know, he can't give them a million years, all right? But CM Punk he can wrestle right up to 2030 for me, even though he is prone to injury. Like, I do accept that, but that's where we're going to leave this video, guys. What do you think about good old JR? Is he right? Is he right about it? Or what?